Greetings and salutations, travelers. Welcome back to the Inn of Planar Crossroads, and as always, welcome back to our Around the Hearth discussions. This time, we are discussing Magic Mecha missions, where we're going to be kind of honing in on the idea of a mission, kind of presenting one to you guys, based around a piece of media, or something like that. This time, as you've probably seen from the notes, maybe, or maybe I did something with a thumbnail, I don't know yet. It is Drops of Jupiter, or Tell Me, depending on which title you use, by Train. So, I don't know if you like the song or not, but that's irrelevant to whether you can turn it into something TTRPG related. So, before we get into that, let's go ahead and do our announcements, and then we will do our shout out and our key points, and then our system recommendations and media recommendations, or media recommendations and system recommendations. So, just like last time, we're going to try and go through these quickly for you. I will start us off, and then let's see who will go after me. Scrat! You just keep winning.
Lucky me.
All right. I am Adam L. Spain with the Inn of Planar Crossroads, and if you want to check us out, you can do so by going to theiopc.com, or innofplanarcrossroads.com also works, but I'm trying to direct people towards theiopc.com. And if you want to check us out there, you have our actual landing page with the different social medias, as well as which are ways to contact us and ways to support us as well. So that's what we've got there. We hope you've enjoyed this new layout. I'm not sure how it's going to come out because I am recording without it actually on there just yet. So, you'll have to let me know. But that's mainly what I have this time. Do check out the Gentle Voice TV if you want to do that. If you would like to know some ministry stuff, I'm doing that over there. By the time this comes out, I'm hoping to at least have another video out over there. And, of course, that's where we're sharing also our How Your Faith Has Influenced Your Gaming and How Your Gaming Has Influenced Your Faith chats that we did in collaboration with Avenue Studios. So, there you go. But that is me. So now, Scrat won the roll-off, so he goes next.
I don't feel like a winner. Well, yes, I am Scrat from A Squirrel Plays over on YouTube, and I make videos talking about the mechanics of storytelling, such as creating characters and world building, but I also like to talk about the mechanics of TTRPGs, which includes storytelling and the like, but also the actual gameplay mechanics. And I've been diving into a lot of new-to-me TTRPGs of late, and trying to drag others out of their little comfort zones, I guess you could say, and get them to share their creations too. Sometimes they seem like they want to, sometimes they not so much. You gotta poke them pretty hard, but it's fun either way. That's me.
All right. What you got, Dan?
I'm Dan from Avenue Studios. You can find us on Rumble, YouTube, and anywhere you listen to your podcasts. And you can check us out at avenuestudios.media. And we are entering into a new season of doing some entertainment-style shows, all still within the TTRPG sphere, hopefully coming out between March and April. So I'm really interested to see what everyone thinks of those. Very excited. We're doing the behind-the-scenes now, so I'm really looking forward to that. And, of course, when we stream, we are now streaming on Rumble and YouTube simultaneously. So hopefully I can see you in chat there. Join us for TTRPG discussions, actual plays, and play testing other card games and board games. We're going to start branching out into that as well. So I hope to see you there, and I hope to see you at EcclesiaCon.
That's right, because you travelers and viewers that have been with us for a while in these chats know that that is our shout out. So Levi's spotlight is DM Tales. It's currently at 2.5k. We're trying to get him up to 3K, I think we said this time. Because why not aim big? So 3K.
Dream big. Especially in mechs, right?
Yeah, big. You know, scale. All right. So that's what we're going to do. And he's having EcclesiaCon happen April 12th through the 14th at Central Baptist Church, Palmyra, New Jersey. So you can go to Jersey and see him. I don't know if that's right. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's the right accent. I don't know. I don't really care. It's just there. So, I mean, you can tell me in the comments if it's bad or not. I got the right attitude about it.
Yeah.
So you can check that out if you want. Get some tickets, stuff like that. There's a special guest here from Avenue Studios.
Special is a very relative term.
Oh no, it's applicable. It's applicable.
Okay, good.
There you go. So you can check them out over there, and Lord willing, everything will work out, and everybody will be over there, and we'll get to see some cool pics and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they'll record and then share that funnel that Jacob is supposed to do. Don't you?
Yes, we should do that. I am bringing Kristen so she can take good pictures.
There you go.
And no kids, so we'll have fun.
We don't need to know what goes on with that. So let's get into this chat before we get too crazy.
Too crazy.
So why don't you join him at EcclesiaCon, and you can join us right now around the hearth, where you grab your preferred beverage and sit down while we discuss magic, mecha, missions. Skull.
Oh.
Alright. I'm starting the timer, because I forgot to last time again. That's a better one. I like that one.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, that's
going on a mission.
It's going on a
love
mission.
He's put on a little weight too, just sitting in that mech all the time.
Yeah. He put on extra weight because he got out of the running wheel to power it.
Yes.
And now he's kind of pudged up.
he's subcontracted it out to the hamsters.
There you go. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into this. We're going to do like we did last time. Give some media recommendations really quickly, give some system recommendations really quickly, and then dive into the discussion portion, because this will be a bit different. In fact, we're just going to breeze through the media recommendations, because the main thing we're discussing this time is that song and converting it in, using it as inspiration for the adventure that we would do this time. So, there's the Vision of Escaflowne for a very magical mecha, that are basically big, huge knight suits fighting it out. It's pretty cool. There's Code Geass for a more psychic-ish kind of influence on the mecha. There's Aura Battler Dunbine, which is it's an early isekai that came out in 1983, where this race car driver who gets transported into a high fantasy realm that has political stuff going on with these magical mechs, and so he's able to better understand how to pilot that and have the reactions for it because of his history in the real, or the original world, I should say. And then Magic Knight Rayearth. Its second season has more mecha in it. The late first season and then second season have more mecha in it than the first part of the season, but you want some magical mechs, there's another one. There's Mashin Hiro Wataru. It is about a little boy, about 8 or so, gets transported into a fantasy kind of Tears of Heaven type of adventure thing, where he changes into the mech. So it's a bit different in that one, but still mecha. And then Outlaw Star was one that we were also doing. And then, because of how well it blends the Dao, Tao, and galactic ley line and magic in general and spirituality into the technology. Really solid in that. Beware really fan servicey stuff, but other than that, it's pretty good. And then Scrat mentioned G Fighter Gundam, which, yeah, that works. Pretty solid idea for that one also. I was blanking on a Gundam that would work for it, but this one does. So
I didn't mention it because I like it. Let's just let the record show.
Sure. Yeah. I think it's funny. I mean, the Mexican space station is a sombrero.
Oh, it's that one. Okay.
All I remember is one episode where the American was in the tournament and they started singing the national anthem to motivate him, and it was just.
Well, he's got a boxer.
Yeah,
style.
He's Texan or something.
Yep,
of course.
And then, what was it?
He has a revolver.
Holland.
Mech has a revolver too. That's the other thing.
And Holland, you know what their mech is?
Nah.
It's a walking windmill, basically. So yeah, it's that kind of silly, but fun silly anime. So there you go. So those are some media recommendations to get your headspace in the right space. G Gundam, I guess, will get you in that right headspace, depending on what tone you're going for.
Yep.
But as far as actual systems that you would use, we've got Open Legend was one that we've been putting forward pretty well. Sagas, if you want something very, very light that is you can just do pretty much anything with. There's Numenera, was suggested by DM Tales when he was here for our 2 previous chats this month. Battletech for really crunchy battle mechs. Lancer for not quite as crunchy, but also very themed around. There's quite a bit of mystery inside of it. There's some funny stuff that happens with causality, especially with the Horus group, I think it is. So, group of mechs, so you can check that out. Apocalypse Frame is a Lumen-based game, Lumen rule set-based game that is there for that. I think it's a bit more crunchy too, if you want that. There is the Mech Hack for the black hack of another system, if you want to check it out. Then Beam Saber, if you definitely want to really tie into that anime protagonist type of level of stuff. And then we got some that we were really quite taken with, which was Maharlika. We all kind of got a interest in that one because we had some. Let me see. It's Filipino. There we go. That's the one I was looking at. Filipino mythology influenced, with mixing that with mech and spirit warriors and mystic type of stuff. So you can check that out.
Pretty cool art in there too.
Yeah, the art's nice. It definitely has a lot of passion put into that one. So you can check it out. There is Armor Aster Advent, which is anime inspired for sure. It's powered by the Apocalypse as the game engine, and it has literal wizards and let me see if I can find a picture. There's literal wizards and paladins and sorcerers in the mechs. These are magic mechs. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And speaking of definitely magic, Iron Edda Accelerated, where you get to pilot Jotun skeletons based upon this piece of art. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty metal. So
there it is.
And it is from, Scandinavian area. So appropriately metal.
Yep.
Scrat is Scandinavian.
Oh,
right.
Scandinavian folklore.
So there's going to be a squirrel piloting a Jotun skeleton. Of course, that would just be a human skeleton. But, potato, potato. And then, let me see. Dark Matter was mentioned last time for a 5e hack, if you want a 5e hack based around that. And that's what I've got as far as these, I believe. Yeah, that's everything. So we can get into the actual presentation of our ideas for adventure paths, or, kind of an adventure starter for a game based around Drops of Jupiter by Train. And yes, this is that Drops of Jupiter. For those music nerds out there, Drops of Jupiter, 2001. So it's from 2000. That's older than I thought. I thought it was 2003 or 4 or something. It's kind of a fuzzy period.
Much better. Yeah.
It's a fuzzy period. All right. So, do you guys want to roll to see who goes first again?
You know what Scrat's gonna say.
Actually, Scrat's gonna say, I thought we were just supposed to come up with like a mission, not actually based off the song, so y'all gonna have to tell me what the song's about, and I'm gonna have to like scramble real quick.
Okay, Scrat, it's clearly presented in the description of what we're doing this time. This is not the first time. This is not the first time I've had to deal with Scrat like that, man.
Dude, I embarrassed the heck out of myself last time I did that. At least I caught it this time.
All right, Scrat,
It's
so
perfect.
there's the link to the lyrics. So Scrat's obviously not going first, Dan.
Okay.
So, you want me or you, or what do you think? Roll off? What you doing?
Yeah, let's roll off.
All right, you're still high.
Doesn't matter.
That's what you
All
picked
right.
this time.
I'm getting there.
I say that. What do I roll? A 1.
A natural one. It's the dice biting back at you.
Well, I usually start anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me.
That's right, yeah. Take it away, Captain.
All right. So, Drops of Jupiter, the thing that I wanted to present with this one as far as an adventure is I didn't get to go as detailed into this one because I was looking up a lot of systems for you guys to have in the comments, in the link, in the doobly-doo, so that you guys can reference back over to those. And I didn't get to do as in-depth of an idea, so we're going to be spitballing a little bit. But the Drops of Jupiter, I think, is a good code name, or even an outright name, colloquial name for whatever the power source is of this magic. So
That's cool. I didn't even think of that.
Drops of Jupiter in her hair can belie a connection to that ley line. And that's what I'm thinking, because I'm taking a lot of inspiration from Outlaw Star. I think taking that idea of this, in our case, it would be outright magical being that makes a cycle around, maybe, or maybe it's kind of a reincarnation type of thing, or it's an avatar, a chosen avatar type of situation. Or like this child is born once every 1,000 cycles, or a few hundred cycles, or 50 cycles. I don't know. A child is born that has a connection to that magical ley line, and Drops of Jupiter. One of the signs is that the Drops of Jupiter are in her hair in that way, or something along that line. So she is the MacGuffin.
Mm-hmm.
The MacGuffin is a person in this one.
Yep.
And
a little Wolf's Rain feel to it.
Yeah. So I would have Jupiter be a focal point on a galactic ley line of some kind, is how I would do it, so that it made more sense that Jupiter would be mostly associated with this condensation of the magical energy. And the players would find her, this chosen person, on one of the planets, or places, I should say, mentioned in the song. So there's the moon mentioned. So Venus is mentioned. And it acts
the
like
Milky Way.
right, the Milky Way in general. So maybe I would do this kind of where that there is that cycle, and it'd be interesting if it was long enough between that people can forget about it, or not be paying as close of attention as they should.
Right,
stuff can slip through the cracks.
You can get your hardcore zealots in there too, who are always paying attention. So, whereas most of the world goes mythic with it.
Should we say that this advanced society Fifth Element situation happened? Oh!
He's looking for a way to do that, wasn't he?
Oh, got it. All right. But that's what I would go for. Now, I don't want her to be... I wouldn't want this person to be completely helpless. It talks about she checks out Mozart while she does Taibo, reminds me that there's room to grow. Hey, yeah. Type of stuff in the song. Mm-hmm. So, I think that's a good indicator for this song, from the song inspiration anyway, that there is this power that she has. There's this self-defense mechanism, perhaps, that kicks in. So that might be a way to build into that. Mm-hmm. But definitely using those places. If you're doing something like maybe, and I'm just spitballing here for the next chat a little bit, there's a plain old Jane told a story about a man who was too afraid to fly, so he never did land. I'm thinking that's like a discovery by a relative nobody finds this individual. And Space Trucker, maybe something like that.
Sure. Yeah.
So that might be something fun to do with it. And I think you could start building out pretty strongly from there with the mission. So the mission can be whatever you would like. My main mission here is the discovery of her. So the discovery of this person, MacGuffin. And she is the thing that is going to... You can have it where she's going to... Since she's on her way back from a soul vacation, it says, which does kind of lean towards the reincarnation idea. She could be a leader. Maybe that's the destiny there, that she's supposed to end up leading people towards a better understanding of the ley lines, or maybe she's an indicator and a harbinger of something else. I think you can leave that kind of open in this first mission.
I was just going to say that I like the idea that there's a ton of theories out there. Like, what does it really mean? But a general idea of she's going to make things better, and everyone has their opinion on
what better is.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. And of course, there are people that don't want to change the status quo. So.
Right.
So, you can mix Outlaw Star and the Fifth Element together and have some fun. All right, that's what I got.
That's cool, man. I like that. I mean, even just the simple thing of Drops of Jupiter is the power resource. That's a great idea.
All right,
that's a good name.
It's good name.
I'm reading these lyrics and I have no idea what I'm.
Just take what you actually planned and just use those writing skills to manipulate it to sound like it was the inspiration.
We'll give you fried chicken. Totally inspired this.
Boom, because that's what you were eating. When you were thinking about it.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, just as maybe it will help you have an emotional tie into it. This song, I believe, is written about his mom, who had passed away just recently after it. Or before it.
The Soul Vacation. I got it. All right. There's my tie-in. That's the only thing I'm going to have to do with this song.
There you go. Okay, Dan, let's give him some time to do his writing magic stuff.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear it now. So mine, I'll kind of do slightly the character as well. Anyways. Because when I was listening to it, the idea I got was... more of a classic mech setting, like classic diesel punk, but replacing the power sources with magic. I'm not exactly sure if it would be... There's some world building that needs to happen, of course, but the overarching idea I had was that people can get selected, they can sign up for a list to be sent into space to operate these mechs that harvest resources. Obviously, we're going to go around Jupiter, that area, getting out that far. And there's a boy and girl. So this would be part of one of the characters' backstories too. Is this girl, they like childhood sweethearts, promised they'd be together forever. But the girl, as they grew up, wants to go off, and she signs up and gets selected for this and leaves the boy behind. And the mission is that task force that goes out to collect the resources, they've lost contact. And this whole time, this one boy has been building up his own mech to go and be a part of that. And so they're sending in a rescue team, and it's going to be a hodgepodge type rescue team. That's where you get your party with all together, different people coming in. I was focusing more on that one character who's looking for that one girl that's part of it. But the overarching idea is that whatever the resources that they're harvesting, the team that normally does that has gone dark, and they're sending in people to find them. And they have to pull together who they can, because the best of the best are the ones that go out and do this, because it's what society runs on now.
Gotcha.
And that was pretty much it. I was going with more of I just felt like a lovers broken vibe. So
that's also a way to look at it.
Yep. And I just like that. I like the idea that the kid stayed for a long time and he's slowly building his Mech. I was going for that more hodgepodge, putting it together. Maybe he works at a junkyard sort of thing. But I was liking that feel of magic, diesel punk type of mechs.
So mechs that are still gritty and usually somewhat a little smaller. But
yep, a little smaller.
Kind of like the squirrel size right there.
Yeah, to be honest. Yeah, legitimately. And I was thinking either they transform. Somehow the mech is also a ship, and that's how you go up, is in your mech, but it's also, it's multifunctional.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and then take it from there. I don't know what's made them go dark. That's for you to plan out and figure out what's gone dark, what's going on out there. Whole lot of options.
That's right. Because that's mission 2.
Right.
We're not thinking about mission 2. Think about mission 1.
Yeah, and I like the idea each party member can have their reason. So I like the one character I'm focusing on, he's going to look for that girl who's very important to him, but inconsequential in the grander story. Or is she?
Dun dun.
But it'd be fun. It's a fun way to bring the party together, too. Classic adventuring party sort of thing. Bring them all together to go on this mission. We need someone to go figure it out.
Yep. Okie dokie.
That's me.
Okay, Scrat. You can delay none longer.
I did books for this. Let's see. For the record, I didn't do any. I should probably clarify that. Okay. So your notes say conversion suggestion. That's what threw me. I thought it was just a suggestion. But anyway.
More like guidelines than actual rules.
We're going to try and stick with what I had. So I was thinking of the Breath of the Wild setting, where things have kind of been wiped out a bit, right? And there's old technology still hanging around. So they made it to space once upon a time. And they went to Jupiter. There you go. See, I'm tying it in already. And they brought the drops of Jupiter back by accident. They were mad. It was some magical stuff that hitched a ride with them. Came back to Earth. Got out of control. Started wiping them out. And then we'll take the idea I had before with the souls and the suits, the mech suits. So, the people of Earth were super advanced at this point, and kind of like, way more advanced than we are, because they could build mech suits, but space exploration was still kind of new to them. For what sense that makes. So, but anyway, so they bring something nasty back from Jupiter, kind of lays waste to the people, and they get a bit of a reset technology-wise, and then that's when they foresee that is going to happen. They're like, all right, we're not going to be able to stop this, so they make the suits, and some people willingly give up their soul one way or other to fuse it with the mech suits, to bury the suits, and they're like, all right, in the future somebody will find these. The magic will have kind of settled by then, but still exist, so hopefully by that time whoever finds these suits be able to take them and go fight the magic. And of course, I don't know how you do this in a tabletop, but one of those suits would have to be a bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Would have to. But, like, you wouldn't know it. Like, he could be somebody's mentor, and then he ends up tricking the pilot at the end. And you could take that a couple different ways. Like, maybe he stays the bad guy, or the bond between the two got so strong it actually wins over the bad guy and gives himself up for something.
Love was the answer.
Yeah. So there's your soul vacation line, right? That the souls are stuck in the suits. They took a very long vacation, buried underground.
That's cool. So I find that interesting that we already lost this war. We're gonna bury weapons and hope someone
like
in the future.
they know they're not gonna win. Like the magic is just demolishing them. And you could say, like, hey, the magic has a life of its own. It wants to consume this planet. You could even say, hey, Jupiter was once thriving at one point, and that's what did it in. So,
well, Jupiter's a gas giant, so it may be a completely different type of life form.
Right.
Could be.
Or even you could go vague, and they call it Jupiter, but that's what they say in current game time. But it could have even been farther off. Who knows? Because all that knowledge has been lost. Mm-hmm. For what I mean, you could be vague. I always like leaving a little question mark in there, like.
Well, Jupiter has a lot of moons, so you can play with it being Jupiter, but it's on a moon of Jupiter.
Yeah, so, for sure.
If you want some terra firma to deal with, anyway. But yeah. I think that would work well, and you can play in with this idea of now she's back in the atmosphere with drops of Jupiter in her hair. You could actually make her the undying main villain. So she was a female astronaut, and she just happened to be the one that this entity, force, whatever, the drops of Jupiter as a negative thing, got in her hair. And it was just something she tried to wash out on the ship, but it just wouldn't wash out because it was seeping into her brain to take her over.
That would be really...
you could do a claustrophobic space horror before getting back to Earth. You could do like a prequel. You got 2 missions here. So you got mission 1 after the apocalypse, after the Magitech apocalypse, coming back into it. But you could play a prequel after you guys finish that whole story. You want to know how it happened? And then you play it out. She slowly starts to lose herself to this magical force of some kind. On the way back to Earth.
Yeah, I was generally thinking it would be cool for the party to slowly be discovering the actual truth over time, finding those things. And you could make it little one-shots where you take a break from the campaign and do, this is the diary entry or whatever about how it happened, and let them play it out.
Play out the handouts.
So they're actually kind of crafting the history in a way. You know, they're part of it. That's cool.
Cool. See, Scrat was all worried again.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be good. We just like watching him sweat a little.
I couldn't figure out how to fit the fried chicken in there. I think that's when they decided the war was lost, when the last fried chicken joint got vaporized.
The last KFC.
That's it. Can't feed our families no more.
Can't feed our families. Well, maybe like in that highly advanced society, it's like Demolition Man or something like that, where KFC was the only one left after this previous war.
So good.
And it's like
the war of the chain restaurants.
And now KFC owns everything type of situation.
Oh my gosh.
And once KFC fell, and that would go so good for like a chicken race thing too.
Oh my gosh.
Invading chicken race. But they didn't know they came knocking at the wrong planet's door. All the curse words in there are just
yeah. Scrat has this like epic post-apocalyptic soul-binding thing, and we're like chickens.
Hey, to be fair to us, he's the one that brought in the fried chicken.
I do.
It's true. It's true. You started it. Oh, that's great though.
No, yeah, instead of one of the mechs being a bad guy, one of them was the soul of a chicken. There you go. They messed up.
It's a
All
terrible
right.
mistake.
Scrat does it again. Our comment of this episode is
Soul chicken.
soul fried chicken.
That's pretty good.
Oh, but I was also thinking it would be really cool, and I don't know, like, how you would do this, but I feel like there would be a way. So the idea we had an episode or two ago where I was saying, the mechs have their souls, but you might could get another player to play that out, or you could have one player do both. Their pilot and their mech. But it would be really, really cool if one of those players' mech was the bad guy, but nobody in the party knew it. Not even the guy who had the bad guy suit. But I don't know how you would actually handle that.
Well,
Would you get so far, or would you tell them, hey, one of you...
well,
By the way,
if you have a player that's good at that, that's good at playing bad guys and can keep the two separate in their head, and the players are usually naturally playing the character and the new pilot, the mech and the new pilot, then it's no big deal. If you have somebody that can handle that, because some of us are pretty good at playing bad guys. But if you don't have that, then there's been betrayal in, like, what do we say these past two chats? Embrace the drama?
yeah.
There's been betrayal in a lot of TTRPGs for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily fun in the moment for the players, but they will always remember those moments, and they will look back on them fondly later.
Right.
We had a great one in our first campaign. It was fantastic. He handled it really well.
So have a little faith in your players, GMs.
Right.
They can probably handle it.
I mean, I would initially think it would be ideal either if mech and pilot were run by different characters, because there is something fun about the pilot player actually being surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I like that meta level of it, but
Yeah.
And you could do it where, even if you have the separate players, where he doesn't have to drop hints. You just tell him play it like he would play it.
Mm-hmm.
And if he would just... Because if he lies too much, or he's too combative or confrontational with the new pilot, he will not have him be able to get his guard down enough to take him over. See, the only reason... Let's take one from Bomb Squad. The only reason the Tormentor isn't released right now is because everybody was on their guard. If they thought he was just kind of this neutral force in the universe that wasn't necessarily good, wasn't necessarily bad, Kari probably would have let him go. Iliad probably would have let him go. Mm-hmm. If you don't know, then you don't know. Following this thing's advice, especially if the player is saying, yeah, we should go and take this threat head on and defeat her with the drops of Jupiter in her hair. We should defeat the Lady of Jupiter, or whatever, bad guy name you want to say. Mm-hmm. But in that, you don't know in the back that soul-powered mech actually wants to take the power of Jupiter and feel like he can handle it. So, all depends on how it's played out. And if he gets too mouthy or too, like I said, combative with his new pilot, then his new pilot ain't gonna pilot him no more. Mm-hmm. So,
that'd be fun.
All right.
Do it.
Okay, we are past time, and I think we've been kind of harping in on our final thoughts a little bit. Is there any final thoughts you guys want to throw out there before we call this one?
Comment below your interpretation of the song.
Yeah.
What's your mission? I think that's the only thing for me.
Yeah, I don't really have anything.
I want to go play now.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Fair enough.
Well, how do you spell Magitech? Is it T-E-C-H or T-E-K? There's your question of the day.
Oh, I like spelling it with a T-E-K, but I understand the grammatical purpose of the T-E-C. So my answer is both.
Fight it out. Comment below.
Comment below. Technically, the actual term is spelled with a K. So, there you go. That's the official answer.
Yeah, but GIF is supposed to be pronounced GIF. So
no, it's not. No, it's not.
GIF.
No, it is not. Like Wes said, it's not peanut butter. All right. My only last thing for this is to look back at the lyrics. My final thought is to look back at the lyrics, because in them, you're just taking bits and pieces from them per adventure that you want to do. Mm-hmm. So this first adventure, I took the Drops of Jupiter, put it in there, so the Soul Vacation is incorporated already. The Sailing Across the Milky Way, that might be part of that Soul Vacation. It has to move back along in whatever speed that soul does. And you can put this, tell me, did you fall from a shooting star, one without a permanent scar? That can be interesting to incorporate when you think about, again, the Harbinger idea. Maybe this person isn't born, they just appear. That's an option there in that Drops of Jupiter type of idea. Mm-hmm. So, that's mine. I do have a character loose idea in mind for the following chat. So, with that being all of our final thoughts, we hope that you have a wonderful day. And in fact, you have a great day. God bless, and enjoy. Bye.
Bye.
This content was made possible by travelers and viewers like you. Thank you.
Okay.
That's great. You guys okay if I steal some of these for shorts? I want to try to do mech themed shorts for the brainstorming.
Sure.
I think I'll do every other on the theme month. So for each theme, one of them is always going to be on theme. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, and then you just say, check out the full chat in of PlanarCrossroads.com.
Do my little Planar Crossroads picture. Awesome. I apologize. I have to head out. So, have fun. I know. I was like, what? You can't leave early. I was going to do that.
Well, you still are. So there you go.
That's right. Unbelievable. Yeah. That's fun. But I'm glad I wanted to get at least that out. So that was generally my character idea, was the one dude. So you guys can chat that if you want, but I like the idea that he was building it scrapyard style, and just after that girl, trying to find her.
I mean, that's a motivation.
That's speaking as a married man still motivates me every day.
All right.
Thank you guys. This is always fun. You guys are the best. I'll see you on the flip side.
All right. I'm gonna check this one.
Right.